Hello, I'm Father Reginald Samuels, the pastor of St. Laurence Catholic Church here in Sugar Land, Texas. And today we will talk about...
Bros Brisket and men's ministry here at St. Laurence.
Okay, so first of all, let's introduce yourselves.
Absolutely. I'm Justin Frato, the Adult Faith Formation and OCIA Coordinator.
Mike Cleary, Director of Faith Formation at St. Lawrence.
Okay, so can you give us a brief history of the men's ministry here in St. Lawrence?
Absolutely.
And also move into the special program that we're going to have.
Yeah. I came here 12 years ago, and there was already some, men's presence here, and in terms of men's ministry. However, over the kind of the first few years, there was a real desire to help empower men, especially of the parish, to understand their role as the spiritual leader in the family. And so they really were trying to make an effort to that. And then we were doing kind of a reboot of That Man Is You. We had done it, I guess, early on back in 2006 when it first started. And there were some new filming and so forth. And so we did that, and we were wanting to promote that, invite men to that. So that's kind of where our event came out of. But I think it's a real blessing that we have quite a few opportunities for men on different days of the week, different kind of feels of the different groups. But the point being, let's get men together. I think that's just a needed thing. We need other men to help call us onto holiness, help us in our vocations. So I think it's a big blessing.
So tell us about Bros and Briskets.
Yes, so this will be the 8th annual Bros and Brisket. And again, it was kind of the brainchild that came out of wanting to promote the men's ministries, invite guys. And we were trying to think of an event that would be kind of maybe a low entry point for guys that maybe aren't as spiritual, so trying to make this kind of a fun event, but having also a spiritual component, having a presenter on some spiritual topic, and then kind of wrapping it up, having the various men of the various ministries share their story, share a little bit about their ministries, and then just invite guys. And so we always encourage the active men to invite other men as well that might not be quite as active to help draw them in. So in the early years, we had some men that had their own pretty classy pit smokers. One year they brought in this, it was on a trailer literally, and I think it was involved in the Houston Livestock Rodeo Championship barbecue cook-off or something, but it was quite a sight to behold. But anyway, and then at some point the Knights of Columbus stepped in and graciously offered to host, to cook for us, and we said, hey, let's do it. And and them as a men's ministry of the parish, it was a perfect fit as well. So
Mike, you are the director of faith formation here at St. Lawrence. However, if I remember correctly, last year you gave the keynote speaker. You were the keynote speaker for Bros and Briskets. Right. So how did that come about, and what is going to be happening this year?
Yeah, so we try to bring in a different speaker every year for, like Justin was saying, for the Bros and Brisket. And so this year we're bringing in Brian Henritze, who was just named, depending on when you're watching this, earlier this week, the Director of Adolescent Catechesis and Evangelization for the Archdiocese. So we're excited to have him. He's a member of our parish. Not only is he an employee of the Archdiocese, but a member of our parish. So he's going to be speaking, tying in the year of St. Francis and what that could mean for men and how God's calling us on to more as men. So it was great to be a part of it last year, and I'm excited to be a part of it this year.
Yeah, I think he did a great job with his talk last year too, and just getting men to think about their calling and claiming their identity in God and stuff. That was a blessing for I think the men last year too.
And how can it be a blessing this year?
Yeah, well, one of the things I love about this event specifically, because it's one day a year. It's usually at the end of July every year, and so if you're watching this later on this fall or spring, look for us at the end of July next year. But there's so many different age groups represented at this event. Last year there were high school guys, there were high school men, there were college young adult men, there were single men, there were married men, there were widowed men, grandfathers, fathers with their sons, college-age men who were single. Like, it was a group of men that were together, which is really rare, I think, that we can come together, and it didn't really matter about love outside the parish. And like you said, it really didn't matter about your spiritual involvement or involvement in the parish. Everyone was kind of equal, and everyone liked the food and could listen to the talk. So I think bringing different generations together, different age groups together, is a really important part of this event, because I think that's the unique part of it.
We are this year doing inviting men to bring their sons, but we're trying to keep it 18 and up for this year. So, but still, that allows us to bridge the generational gaps from some of the Gen Zs all the way through to your baby boomers. So I think that'll be a blessing to have that.
So, what are some of the fruits of Bros Brisket?
Yeah, I think it's been a great opportunity for guys in the parish and beyond to plug in and really grow the various ministries that we have here, and for them to just get excited about it and to see that men need each other and to support each other in the faith. Particularly, when we look at our various ministries, Monday nights and Tuesday mornings for a long time, Steve Eubank has led Bible studies for men, and definitely that's been bearing fruit. We've got on Wednesday morning, That Man Is You, which is a national program that has continued to draw in men to really talk about male leadership, especially. Thursday morning, we've got Catholic Men Called to Be Saints, which they start off with a rosary, and then they go into doing various studies and just to talk to each other about the faith and support each other. And of course, we've got our Knights of Columbus and ex-men all part of this. So it's a beautiful thing to see that we're all in this together. We're supporting each other's brothers in Christ. And hopefully being an opportunity to just draw other men into this as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think that covers it. I think so.
All right.
And what are some of the blessings that have come out of this?
Yeah.
How have we seen an increase in the men participating in our parish?
Yes.
In parish life?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. So just to kind of name off the ministries, the men's ministries involved with it, we've got the Acts Men's Retreat. We have a Bible study that has been going on for a long time that goes Monday nights and Tuesday mornings, run by Steve Eubank. That he's been doing that many, many years, and so they're involved. Thursday morning, we have Catholic Men Called to Be Saints, and their flavor is more, they usually start with a rosary together, and then they do some kind of study of something and just support each other. And then we, of course, have, as I mentioned, our Knights of Columbus, who is such a strong service component in the parish, and although they do some great things with faith formation as well. And so, we've got this smorgasbord that guys can pick from, and that's what I always say, take your pick, we've got all different times, but the point is get plugged in, don't just try to do this alone, because we can't. Especially in our day and age, I think men, are really struggling, and we're not always looked at in the best light. And so I think our faith has some great things to share with us, about claiming our identity as God's sons, and just helping to us to see what it truly means to be a man, obviously modeling Jesus Christ. So I think we need the support, and I think Bros Brisket gives the guys that kind of excitement coming together, seeing we're doing this all together, and it's just kind of creates a brotherhood, if you will, and then allows us to kind of go forth and just invite other men, and again, to be outward looking, I think is a big part of it. Just not to just kind of get caught up in navel gazing and saying it's good enough how it is, but there's other guys out there that need this kind of thing, and so I think that's been a blessing.
Okay, so we're going to include the information for this in the show notes, but can you tell us how can we participate?
Absolutely.
In Bros and Brisket?
Sure. The easiest way to get more info and to register would be just go to stlawrence.org/Bros and Brisket, and we'll have a little more detail there. And then there's a link to go directly to the parish soft site where they can register for that. As of, I guess, July 11th, depending on when this is released, is the last day for the early bird discount, and then July 12th, it'll go up from $15 to $20, but still be well worth it. That would be the easiest way to do that.
Well, thank you very much for giving us the information about this.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for having us, Father.
Thank you.